So I want to bring up my new friend, Daryle Lamont Jenkins, who made those frantic phone calls to me from June until October, until I started to pay attention. American Renaissance is coming to North Carolina. Can you help me? I had never heard of American Renaissance, and I was busy trying to move to Columbus, Georgia, which is where I live now, and I'm looking forward to seeing folks who come down for the SOA showdown in November. I will be at the gates with you. But Daryle kept calling me, and finally I paid attention, called Daryle, he explained the whole thing to me, and we started working together. So we started having these conference calls in November, and we've been working together, and I'm just so pleased to know another generation of anti-racist fighters. So come on up, Daryle Lamont Jenkins. So one people.
And I gotta thank all of y'all for coming out. I gotta thank all of y'all for the work that y'all have done for yourselves, basically. I mean, this is your community. I'm only visiting for a day. But when I leave here, y'all still gonna be here. You're gonna have to just make sure that these things are not going to be such a weight upon the community, and that's up to y'all. That's up to y'all. It all depends on how vigilant you're going to be in the future, and that's the question we have to ask now. Where do we go from here? I mean, there really isn't much I need to say after what Lenny had said about American Renaissance, except the most important thing to remember is that you just have to be mindful of the kind of elements that we're dealing with. This was a wake-up call for a lot of people. The thing about American Renaissance, it isn't like most of your neo-Nazis that we are familiar with, we expect them to run around burning crosses, wear swastikas, shave their heads or whatever, and bear in mind, not everybody with a shaved head is a Nazi. But they are not going to do that. Think about American Renaissance, think about Council for Conservative Citizens, is that they're going to come under different names. They're going to come under a different guise because ultimately they want that power, or they had it and want to keep it. The thing about American Renaissance is this: you're talking about strong political connections, or at least connections strong enough to get their agenda into the mainstream. And you had a kind of a taste of that here a couple of years ago when Tom Tancredo went over to Chapel Hill to speak at the University of UNC, correct? And there was a big hoopla. He got chased out of here. He came back last year. That was put together by a group called Youth for Western Civilization. Youth for Western Civilization was founded by Kevin Deanna, and even though they don't want to admit it, the co-founder was Marcus Epstein. Both of them were friends of Jared Taylor's. And they participate in a lot of these events, surrounding immigration or surrounding these paleo-conservative characters that we see in American Renaissance all the time in DC. Marcus Epstein was an executive director of both Pat Buchanan's organization, The American Cause, and Tom Tancredo's organization, Team America PAC. He got a little bit of trouble because back in 2007, he attacked a black woman. He was drunk, attacked a black woman in the street, calling her the N-word. The woman's husband tackled him. He gets away, and then he gets tackled again by an off-duty Secret Service agent. He was about to still go into law school until we found out about that arrest 2 years later. And now the University of Virginia had given him the EVO. The only thing I can say about that particular incident is that if that was one of Al Sharpton's executive directors, we would have heard about it that day and would still be talking about it today. But we had to find out about it by accident 2 years later. And that's something to bear in mind. They're vigilant against us. We need to be just as vigilant against them. And when you do that, a lot of the things that we have been fighting in the past 2 years alone will start to subside. That's what they are afraid of now. When you see the anti-immigration campaigns, you are looking at, more or less, the American Renaissance crowd. They're the ones that scare. A lot of the people that are involved in the anti-immigration campaigns are the folks that are involved in the American Renaissance, involved with the Council of Civil Citizens. Youth for Western Civilization is involved with that. Involved with any attacks on mosques around the country. These are how we see them today. The Tea Party. Many mentioned Tea Party Patriots, Tea Party Nation. We know neo-Nazis and the Tea Party Patriots. And they talk them up all the time on American Renaissance. So it's definitely something that we have to pay attention to. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that we are already doing that we basically need to put forth first. There's us here, One People's Project, NEFAC, Anti-Racist Action, many Southern Poverty Law Center, and other groups that are monitoring these groups. We're there. We're all there to help guide everyone here as they try to build their communities. And when you see this kind of resistance, and you're concerned about it, come to us. We'll check it out. We'll let you know what you're dealing with. If there's something there, obviously, but we're there for you. And it's the only way, and that kind of network, that kind of congregation, so to speak, is what is going to help beat back a lot of the nonsense that we've seen. And I'm happy for all of y'all. I'm happy that you was able to do this again. I don't know what Taylor is going to do next. This was the second time we shut them down. And they're a little angry at it on the white supremacist side. I've been reading Stormfront. I've been reading a couple of comments on various other pages. They're going to want to make a move. He's probably going to try and sue the city council. Stand behind your pro tem, your mayor pro tem. Stand behind Patrick Henry. I mean, because this is, I mean, whatever you might have think about the Democrats, but just stand behind him because he fought for his community in this case. So, I'll see you again next year, by the way. I'll be down here, and I look forward to working with Charlotte again in the future. And I'll be looking for, and I'm always down in North Carolina, so whenever y'all need a helping hand, here it is. Thank you very much.